what a day for the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings, Jordan Mason and TJ Hockenson. Mason with 16 carries, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Hockenson, 5 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown on 6 targets, and they barely threw in this game. So how much confidence do you have in them, Jamie, going forward at Pittsburgh, at Cleveland, and then a bye?
A lot of confidence against Pittsburgh, based on how he played today, and getting Darisaw back was huge. So I wonder if it's a game where maybe more competitive. Does he have an opportunity to catch the ball at all? Carson Wentz only threw the ball 20 times today. So, but this was what you hope for, every time he gets going back to now the last 7 games, 14 or more touches. He's been over 15 PPR points, or averaged more than 15 PPR points per game. So this was as good as it gets for a guy that didn't have any work in the passing game.
Yeah, that's Mason. Now Hockenson, they're going to get Addison back next week. So what are we thinking in regards to that?
Well, again, this is Carson Wentz. This is what he does. He throws to his tight ends. He threw 2 touchdowns to his tight ends today. So this is the kind of quarterback that he is. And as long as he's going to start, I think Hockenson remains in play. So I think he can average 6 targets per game. I think he can catch 5 passes a game. I think he can get 49 or more yards a game. Will he score? This is his first touchdown in the regular season since 2023. He had a touchdown in the playoffs last year.
That's right.
Didn't score at all in the regular season last year coming back from the ACL tear. But, based on the tight end play at this point, there's been a lot of up and down performances at the position. I don't know how many people will value him more or less. And again, I haven't, done complete rankings yet, started to do the early tight end rankings, but like Hunter Henry versus TJ Hockenson at this point, two pretty solid games for Henry, 1 solid game for Hockenson, but the first with his quarterback, it's just encouraging to see that he performed at this level.
Last question, we'll move on. And for all of you guys, do you think Carson Wentz can permanently take this job, for the rest of this year from JJ McCarthy? Or do you think when McCarthy's healthy, he will basically without question be the starter?
I asked Pete Prisco this watching the game, and he said pretty adamantly no, that when McCarthy's healthy, he's back as the starter. I would think that if he goes undefeated, Wentz, that they will push McCarthy's injury down the line as long as they can. And then if Wentz turns into Wentz, they throw McCarthy back in there when he's 100% healthy.
All right. Heath, your winners are... Hold on. Your winners are Pittman and Trey Tucker. Second time in Trey Tucker's career, he's had consecutive games with a target per out run rate of 18% or higher. And he scored 40 points today with 8 catches, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns on 9 targets. But let's start with Pittman. 6 for 73 and a touchdown on 6 targets.
And that doesn't sound that impressive, except they threw 25 times and they threw for 228 yards.
Right. I was going to say, I think you might have the wrong Colt as one of your winners.
Jonathan Taylor?
I thought maybe. I know he didn't.
Well, he was already a must-start running back. I didn't
No, I thought maybe he didn't score that many fantasy points. I thought maybe you were going to come around on Daniel Jones.
No, I mean, he had 17 fantasy points. This is a fantasy football show.
Okay. Pittman.
Yeah, Pittman. Week 1, he was clearly the top target over Josh Downs. Week 2, it was Josh Downs. Week 3, it was Pittman again. And I think you feel a little bit better about him being the number 1 option in this pass offense. And he clearly has a great connection with Daniel Jones, who is playing much better than I expected. And you should call him Indiana Jones.
I'm sorry if you just said this, but Michael Pittman, please tell me you didn't say this, should have had a touchdown in all 3 games. Did you say that?
No.
Okay. Ran a crossing route, got open. Throw was maybe a little bit low, but he almost had a touchdown last week. Okay. And then Trey Tucker, are we really going to buy into this?
Well, I think it's interesting because there's something positive to take from all 3 of Trey Tucker's games. Week 1, he only had 3 targets, but he had the long touchdown, had 2 catches for 54 yards, scored 13 fantasy points. Last week against the Chargers, he had 8 targets. He just didn't have a good game. And this was the first game where he had a lot of targets and he had a good game. At the very least, he's going to be one of the top ads off the waiver wire because you can't leave a guy that goes 8 for 145 and 3 touchdowns on the waiver wire. So that's a big winner to go from somebody we were all ignoring to somebody that everybody's maybe not everybody, but a lot of people are adding.
And he gets the Bears.
Yeah, that's the biggest reason.
I wonder if we have a Brock Bowers problem because of Jacoby Myers and now Trey Tucker and Geno Smith not saying, oh, there's that guy. Let me throw to him.
No, I wonder how healthy Brock Bowers is. They said today on the broadcast he's still wearing the brace.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, the first 3 quarters of the season, he had a 30% target share. And then he's basically been an afterthought the last 2 weeks.
All right, let's go to our losers here.
Well, I guess we could talk about when we get to the game, but like you have, let's say you picked up Juwan Johnson when you saw Brock Bowers was injured. Who are you starting next week?
I'm still starting.
Bowers against
without question because it's the Bears. But if it wasn't the Bears,
no, I would take Bowers. Hey, we're not there yet, right?
I'm not saying it's for anybody. It's for the guy that's been fantastic through 3 games.
Johnson wasn't so great today, was he? What do you have, like 10 points? Am I wrong?
I think it was at 11.
I think he still had
6
8
for
targets?
51.
6 for 51. Yeah.
Right. A big catch kind of helped him out late.